People who are dating someone with the same sex twin. Are you attracted to them? How do you cope with that? My parents met because my dad went up to my mom, grabbed her ass, and said last night was fun. Turns out my party animal aunt had been at a party and boned my dad the night before. My extremely prim and proper mother was mortified and ran away. My dad saw my aunt again later and was like, "What was that this morning?" And my aunt had to explain. He later saw my mom and apologized, and about 5 years later they ran into each other again and he made sure he knew which one she was when they started talking. Dad and aunt now hate each other. My wife's identical twin sister is the most annoying person ever. Funny. After identical twin, my iPhone suggested the rest of the sentence. Kinda. I found her attractive but she was a different person. So half of what I was attracted to changed. The person who was my first kiss later ended up taking my twin's virginity. Or I used to date a girl with an identical same-sex twin. Most people couldn't tell the difference between them and couldn't understand why I was attracted to one but not the other. I could tell them apart though. And to me the one I was dating was far more attractive. I think in reality, it was probably that I was attracted to her personality more than her twins. And that in turn caused her to be physically more attractive. Edit. One simple tautology and no one wants to talk about anything else. I was talking to a twin and I asked her out to a movie date. She brought her twin and when we were chatting after the movie I realized I liked the other one's personality better and dated her. She brought her twin to your date? She kind of started the awkward train if you ask me. I actually dated an identical triplet. Thankfully they all had very different styles and kept different hair colors. So I never got my girlfriend confused with her two sisters. I'd be a liar if I said the thought of a foursome with 3 different variations of my girlfriend never crossed my mind. Finally, a chance to leave 4 people unsatisfied at a time. My ex had an identical twin. And I didn't find her attractive at all. Perhaps weirdly. They looked exactly alike. But had such incredibly different voices. I only once ever got them confused. And it was a doozy. They had a habit of wearing each other's clothes, which is, I mean, come on now. Why would you do that to us? The 3 of us were cooking together. I stepped away to use the bathroom. I come back and I approach the wrong twin from behind as she's chopping something. My GF was in the other room talking to our guests, and I place my hand on her back and say, "Hi sweetie." Full stop. The wrong twin whips around with a knowing smile and says hi. And then just goes back to chopping. I was clearly very embarrassed and just kinda blanked out. And she just turned around and kept chopping. I think the knowing smile was a "Hey, I get it. It happens. Don't worry" kind of smile. When I told my GF, she found it hilarious and made fun of me for a long time about it. And I kept saying, "Why would she be wearing your favorite shirt?" Girl twin here. Just on the other side of things. I can't tell you how difficult it was to find someone who wasn't completely infatuated and intrigued by my twin and I. Almost all of my relationships, my so would somehow get in touch with my sister and ask for nudes. It's always been extremely hard on me. And I have a lot of self-esteem issues in result. To cope with it, I just get out of the situation and remind myself some people are just the way they are. And that means there will be someone who is good enough to see and want my identity only. That's crazy. That is literally the last thing I would ever think to ask the sister of the girl I was dating. It's not as confusing or tempting as anyone may think. They look the same. My parents still mix them up after 10 years, but different personalities. Fun fact. My brother ended up with her twin anyways. Don't cross the streams though. I briefly dated a twin and she once said to me, "So if you didn't know me at all, but you knew my sister instead, you'd be going out with her, not me, right?" The truth is yes, obviously I was physically attracted to both of them since they were identical. And you cope with it by knowing the person you're dating on a deeper level. Obviously more than just thinking about her looks and body. At least for me that was it. So if you didn't know me at all, but you knew my sister instead, you'd be going out with her, not me, right? That's a bad way of thinking. Though, if you didn't know her, you could meet someone else entirely and date her instead. My buddy's father has an identical twin. His mother has an identical twin. And they are married to each other. Both guys to both girls. It's really weird. Edit. Damn, that comment blew up. So many questions. I'll tackle a few. Only one set had kids, my friend and his sister, so no idea if they would look alike if they both had kids. His aunt uncle hooked up at the wedding of the first two. Yes, they go to twin conventions. Didn't know them well enough to ask the swap question. They lived 3 doors down from each other in a cookie cutter development. Their kids are genetic siblings. Woo. My girlfriend has an identical twin sister. She's Indian. I'm white. Both of them have jet black hair. Perfect white teeth. Same skin tone. Same figure. Same height. Everything. Her twin is dating my best friend who has similar features to me. Weird enough. They're both gorgeous. But I'm not attracted to her like I am to my girlfriend. Finding the differences when I first met them was embarrassingly difficult. But now I can tell from all angles. Never had any mishaps or confusion of who is who while we were dating. And yes, we affectionately call them the Twindians. My wife has a twin sister. They're both pretty attractive, but I never was interested in the sister. I almost smacked her butt a few times when we were all together. Thankfully it hasn't happened yet. Edit. Has a twin. Not had a twin. She's still living. No, she didn't get a gender reassignment. Dated a twin in high school. His brother was flamboyantly gay. So no. Never found myself attracted to him. Is your twin just more subtle about it? Dated a girl who has an identical twin. Weirdest thing that happened was when I came to pick her up at her place. I thought she was the one who answered the door. Called her babe and leaned in for a kiss. She shoved her hand to my chest and said, "Whoa. I'm not Chelsea." It was goddamn awkward after that. Told my so what happened and she laughed her ass off. I know. I'm currently dating someone who has an identical twin. It's a little weird as the sister is one of my best friends, but that would be the case even if they weren't twins. I originally had a crush on my so's twin, but I was way too scared to ask her out. But that's fizzled now, so it's not a problem. They also don't look very similar even though they are identical. Due to medical reasons. Edit 1. Added comma to avoid confusion. Edit 2. Twin 2 is a paraplegic. So she looks different and more obviously. She's in a wheelchair. I'm dating twin 1. Dated a twin once. After the initial month or so you honestly forget about it. In terms of personality they were both totally different. In terms of naked bodies. Not different at all. TL. DR. Tried to get into the shower with my ex-girlfriend's twin sister. Edit. Since people are asking. The girlfriend and I were home alone. I was in another room at the time. Heard the shower start. It wasn't uncommon to jump in together as you do. So I went to the bathroom. Obviously didn't hear the twin get into the house early and she must have went straight to the shower. I went into the bathroom. She said, "I think you're looking for Chloe." I realized the mistake and we both laughed about it. No letter to Penthouse or I banged my girlfriend's sister Pornhub video. Told the girlfriend and she laughed about it. But as I said, everything looked the same. Subtle differences sure. But identical enough that you had to know little differences like mole placement etc. Also apparently I'm TL. DR incompetent. This is more of a TL. DW. Too lazy. Didn't write. I dated a girl with an identical twin sophomore year of college. It was hard to tell them apart, even for their parents. They even dressed alike and ate the same type of food and listened to identical music. The attraction was there equally. But the girl I was dating said, "Think of us as 2 dishes of identical ice cream. You can stick your spoon into one. But not both." Stick your spoon in one, dick in the other. My so has an identical twin. I'm not attracted to the twin at all. They look very much alike, but they have very different personalities and style. It helps that they were raised as separate individuals. Never wore the same clothes, for example. The twin sister was a bitch. It was a huge turn off. I just reminded myself that I already knew what she looked like naked. I just reminded myself that I already knew what she looked like naked. But I dated a twin. I never messed them up, which was good. But there was this one time my girlfriend asked me if I wanted to play a game. I said sure. She showed me a bunch of old pictures of her and her twin sister and asked me to figure out which she was. I'm thinking, I better know. This is probably a test. But I ended up getting really lucky because she seemed to almost always be the one in pink or the one on the left, lol. I asked her if she could tell. And she said no. She just memorized where she was. If it was her first time seeing them, she never would have been able to guess correctly each time. IDK what kind of chance she thought I had, or if she just wanted me to suffer. I once dated an identical twin. I'm a girl. He was a guy. No. I didn't fancy his brother. Don't know who said it. But I don't love her because she is beautiful. She's beautiful because I love her. Or in this case him. I did get that little skip of the heart in brief moments I saw his brother and thought it was him. But as soon as I realized. No. Completely different personalities. Don't get me wrong. I obviously thought that they were both good looking. But there was no attraction to the twin. At all. Edit. Think I'm the only heterosexual woman in this thread. I'm a woman married to a female twin. Her and her sister do look a lot alike in the face and body wise. But have always had extremely different styles. It's easy to tell them apart because my wife has long, curly natural hair and her twin keeps hers short. Plus it's dyed and straightened. The most confusion is when we are together. Not because of the way they look, but because they also happen to have a very similar voice. If we are all hanging out, my wife and I, her sister and the husband, whenever one of the girls says babe, my brother-in-law and I both look. Upon first meeting them, I actually saw the twin I'm not married to first. I thought she was cute, but didn't get gay vibes, so imagine my delight when there was a single gay replica. Nowadays, they are both still very attractive. But of course my wife is more beautiful to me because I'm in love with not only her looks, but her soul, her personality, and all her little quirks. Single. Gay replica. Hahaha yes. Perfect. My best friend, a dude, had a twin sister that I always had the hots for. But I couldn't bring myself to ask her out because she looked too much like him. It was awkward. I dated a twin when I was younger. She presented herself much differently than her sister, so it wasn't usually a problem. My GF had long dark hair and dressed like a hippie. Her twin had short red hair and dressed a little girlier. Both were gorgeous. But I was much more attracted to my GF than her sister. So I was never conflicted. Anyway, one night my GF comes out to meet me. It's dark. She's wearing a hoodie. I put my hands on her hips and go in for the hello smooch. And she just dies laughing. I'm not XXX. Dumbus. My GF's twin says. We got along well. So there was no drama. Just laughs, including from my GF and her twin's BF. Currently dating a twin who lives with his twin brother. I'm not attracted to his brother and I'm not really sure why. They're very similar in personality and interests. His brother's girlfriend, however, has been weird jealous about me dating her boyfriend's twin from the start. Currently an identical twin in a relationship. GF knew my brother long before me. And he just wasn't her type. Saw me and was immediately interested. Our style and personality is pretty different. And we have a few key physical differences. Hairstyle. Faces are a little different. Weight in different places. I was her type. He wasn't. This is very similar to the which one of us is Hikaru game. One of the reasons we broke up was she had a "I'm not my sister" complex. No. I'm not dating your sister. I'm dating you. But heaven knows I'm not the one that put that idea in your head, and nothing I say will ever get it out. I think she got over it now by living in a different state house than her twin. To all of the people saying that the other twin was a jerk, let me shed some light. Sometimes guys will be standoffish to their brother or friend's significant other so that they aren't perceived as being competition for said mate. Probably doubly so for twins where attractiveness is equal. It's just a way of keeping a relationship out of the way of friendship or family. I have a younger sister, not a twin. We look very much alike and are very close. We lived together the next door for a few years, and my husband was freaked out because he had a little crush on my sister. He was seriously feeling guilty. I think it's pretty normal tbh. We look alike, act alike. If he loves me, he's obviously going to be attracted to her. As long as you can control your dick. No problems. Identical twin here. Briefly lived with my bro and his wife. 3 months. I was constantly called babe and constantly dodging kisses in the hallway. Came here to say I'm a same-sex twin. Luckily I date a lovely woman who I've been with for years. My sister has been dating a long string of assholes, and pro tip. It's pretty obvious when you're scoping me out trying to see if I'm down for a threesome with my sister. You. Yes, I'm sorely attracted to both, but I only love one. Don't know how to handle it other than using it to jerk off to. I've seen her sister basically naked before. I don't see the problem with this, and I think the whole issue of partners being attracted to other people is overstated for jokes. It's obvious that no one just stops finding other people attractive when they enter a relationship, but we're supposed to pretend that it's true? What? No. We should just learn to accept that there is a huge difference between finding someone attractive and doing anything with them. If we are to believe that our partners don't find others attractive, then we're also accepting that it doesn't take any kind of discipline, responsibility or commitment to stay in the relationship. Identical twin here, male. I've had this talk with my fiancée. Because she was always worried about mixing us up when we were first dating. Always agreed that we're both 7s, but there was never any attraction to him. There's attraction emotionally between us. And despite how similar my brother and I are, there was never any fear of being attracted to my brother or mixing us up. It was weird for her at the start. I won't hide that. For like 2 weeks. Then he just became my brother to her, and that was it. This was a confusing read. TL. DR. Dated twin for a while. Friend talks to other twin. We bang them in the same room. I dated one for a couple years with lots of off and on. Later realized that I had more in common with her twin. And dated her in secret for about 6 months. The whole experience was very heartbreaking for both of us. I really cared for her and the original twin I dated. But we feared what family might think, and especially how her sister would feel. It ended up going nowhere. But she was 100% marriage material. She's dating someone right now and seems really happy. I'm really happy for her. I tend to get love tunnel vision when I'm into someone, so I haven't had this problem. They both had very different personalities, which made it easy to tell them apart. Sadly, the twist is his twin liked me. I had to explain about my love tunnel vision and that it only works for that one person and not anyone who looks like that person. It was not a fun conversation, but he was cool and mature about it. Hey. It's the daily Ask Reddit wank thread. They tried to switch on me one day as a joke. I knew right away. Still played along to see how far I could take it with her. Almost got to second. My man. I dated 2 separate twins. One was a casual encounter for a few months in between semesters at college. Nothing strange happened there. Most of the time we never saw the other twin. The second set of twins was an interesting occurrence. They were really close sisters, but the one I was dating had a pixie cut and the other twin had long hair. They looked identical otherwise. Anyways, they were really close and liked to joke around, so one night we ended up playing a game of Are You Nervous? But my hands ended up on the twin I wasn't dating. Neither twin disputed it, so I ended up getting handfuls of both twins' boobies and such without issue. All in all, it was pretty neat. 10/10 would do again, but not date again. Homegirl was crazy. Sigh. Alright. Yes. I'm in a long-term relationship with an identical twin. It's hard not to find both of them attractive. They have very similar mannerisms, quirks, and well, they look and sound the same. It is profoundly strange. Her sister just reminds me so much of the woman I'm in love with. I'll catch myself checking out the wrong sister sometimes on accident, but it never goes beyond that. Was in relationship with one. She got Y one night and broke up with me. Her sister came home from theirs with me. Drunkenly banged her. Got back together with first twin. Didn't work out. Happy ever after. I mean, why wouldn't you be attracted to them? Just cause you're dating someone doesn't mean you're magically not attracted to people. Just don't other people. It's not that hard. Jesus. Just don't other people. It's not that hard. Jesus. My wife is an identical twin. Her twin is super cute as well, but their personalities are pretty different, so I'm not attracted to her emotionally, though she is a perfectly nice person. That said, I have on multiple occasions grabbed my sister-in-law's ass while distracted thinking it was my wife's. No regrets. Late to the party. I'm also a twin. My brother's straight and I'm gay. When girls flirt with me, I introduce them to my twin. And my brother sends guys my way. No mess. No stress. Dated a very beautiful German girl for 3 years who had a very beautiful twin sister. The sister and I always flirted. Never bothered my girlfriend. We'd all cuddle on the couch and were okay being quasi-nude around each other. Yeah. Needless to say, I thought about the options the situation presented, but I never pushed it. Was happy with the situation I had. Turned out they were both crazy. Now happily dating a cool-headed Russian with no twin. Worth it. One I can answer. Not attracted to her. Facial features are the same. But her sister is a little princess that complains about absolutely everything. And my GF is the most humble. Hard worker. And she deadlifts 345 at 120 BW. So you know she got that booty. I used to date a girl with a twin. Like both of them were 10/10. The threesome question was always on my mind, and one day I got drunk enough to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. Turns out she was down for it and her twin was an all-around great guy. Not dating, but I'm a twin. And after doing something really stupid with a girl my brother was seeing, I can definitely say that sometimes people are attracted to the twin as well and don't always cope with it ideally. I'm currently in a relationship of 4 years with an identical twin. It's been so long now that they are almost like two completely different people. Only people who hang around twins will understand. People who don't see them often think they look identical. But to me they're so different it's like they're not related. Her sister dyes her hair ginger, which is hot. Would bang. Well, my wife is attractive. Her twin is a fat cow. Kinda hard to get them confused. No problems. Also, just goes to show how eating right and exercising gave more of an effect than my genetics. My GF is an identical twin. I was at first worried about getting the two mixed up, but their personalities are different enough from each other's to tell. It also helps that her sister still smokes cigarettes, so her voice is a bit more raspy. It's fun to make jokes to her sister about knowing what she looks like naked, and talking about being in bed with a set of twins, after laying down next to my girl while they are both laying down on the bed.